Welcome back, familiar to Northside LDN. And Martinez, thank you for the memories. It's time to go now. It's time to go. It's time to leave the Portuguese seleção. It's time to go now. It's done now for me. I don't want to see Martinez coaching Portugal ever again after that absolutely horrendous, disgraceful, embarrassing performance against Ireland yesterday. I'm done. My man can go. And you know what, Ronaldo? You want to be doing stupid red cards and throwing away the game? You can leave too. You can leave too. You can leave too. I've had enough. I'll be real. I've had enough of the both of them. I've had enough of the egos. I've had enough of the nonsense, the poor performances, the team lineups. I've had enough of all of it. I had enough of all of it. They can both go. I've been warning people about Martinez. I've been warning people about Martinez as a fraud. This guy is a B-Tech Arteta, bro. This guy is an absolute fraud. The guy has no tactics. No tactics, bro. The only tactic that you can count on is that he's going to continue to play Ronaldo up front. If you're going to play Ronaldo, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Ronaldo has lost his pace. He's not the Ronaldo of 2016. He's not the Ronaldo of 2012. This is a Ronaldo that's lost his pace. He's not as fast off the mark. He can't beat players like he used to. If you're going to play Ronaldo, you play for tap-ins. He's still got the IQ. He still can get himself in dangerous positions. Instead, we're spamming crosses into the box. You need those low-driven crosses so we can tap it in. You're spamming crosses into the box. Ronaldo can't jump like before anymore. He can't jump. Hip replacement. Can't jump anymore. I'm sick and tired of saying the same thing. My man don't want to listen to me. Ronaldo was once upon a time in his prime. He's no longer in his prime. It's not hard. It doesn't take away from his legacy. It doesn't take away from what Ronaldo is to Portuguese people, i.e. myself. It doesn't take away from the fact that Ronaldo is the player that came to the Portuguese Seleção and got us winning the Nations League, the Euros. Nothing takes away from that. But every dog has its day. Would anybody want Ronaldinho starting for their club right now? More than likely, he's got a pot belly and he can't play the 90. Does it mean that Ronaldinho isn't the best magician in football that we've ever seen? Is anyone starting R9? Does that mean that R9's career, does that mean that it's completely void and we don't talk and R9's career, oh, he's a bum? No. It's the same thing with Ronaldo. He was once a great player. Right now, he can do a bit of a job. He's not prime Ronaldo. Is Lewandowski in his prime? Or is he in the decline? Criticizing a player for what he currently is doesn't take away from his past and what he's done in the game. Ronaldo will always be a Portuguese legend, will always be one of the greatest players that have ever played in football. Always have one of the greatest records in football. No one can take that away from you. It's got nothing to do about talking about his CV. I'm talking about the current Ronaldo. And the current Ronaldo throws his toys out the pram. He's not as effective as people try to gas him up to be. They think he's going to last till he's flipping 60. It don't work like that, bro. Life catches up with you. Life catches up with you. Like it catches up with everyone. Like it caught up with Figo. Like it caught up with Rui Costa. Like it caught up with Manish. Like it caught up with Deku. Like it caught up with Pep. Like it caught up with Nani. It catches up with you. So this thing about we have to keep the player going on and going on and going on, either play to his strengths or give him limited minutes, or play Gonzalo Ramos. Gonzalo Ramos comes on the pitch straight away, working the keeper. I didn't see Ronaldo get one shot. I didn't even see him do one shot. It's absolutely embarrassing. And I'm sick and tired of Ronaldo fanboys, yeah? I'll always love Ronaldo for what he's done for my nation. I never thought I'd see Portugal win anything. I'm always forever internally grateful. But at the same time, it doesn't mean because you did that you get a free pass to take the piss. His performance yesterday was a disgrace. And it wasn't just Ronaldo before anyone starts crying. Oh, no, why you only talk about Ronaldo? No, it wasn't just Ronaldo. But you don't go and throw the game like that and elbow the player in the back. Would he have done that if he had the sue? If we were the team winning 2-0? I bet you he wouldn't. I bet you we wouldn't. But because it wasn't a Ronaldo show, oh, you just go and throw the game, get yourself a stupid red card. This is a seasoned vet. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. Your ego is out of control and it's been out of control. But I'm sure you could do another Piers Morgan interview and he'll stroke your ego. Oh, Ronaldo. Oh, how big was the ring you bought Christina? Oh, how many cars do you drive? Oh, Ronaldo, you're such a humble guy. I don't know why people think. They ask me, what is it like to meet Ronaldo? No, I'm sorry, bro. Humble yourself. You're not bigger than the Cellar Sound, bro. You're not bigger than the Cellar Sound. Because the Cellar Sound will go on, even when you're 80, even when you're 70. You're not bigger than the Cellar Sound. And Martinez, it's gotten to Martinez. Portugal sacked their first manager to ever win them anything. The first Nations League and the Euros. And what do we go and do? Replace Fernando Santos with Martinez. First of all, Portugal and Spain are rivals. So I would much not, I'd rather not do that. And if you're going to get a Spanish manager, which there are Spanish managers that I rate, go get the ones that are actually certified. Don't get this guy that's a bum. How do you fail upwards? That's Martinez, bro. Man's failing upwards. Man failed with the golden generation of Belgium, and then you take over Portugal that won the Euros. The football ain't better. At least under Fernando Santos, we can actually defend. Did you see the defending yesterday against Ireland? Absolute joke. Absolute joke, bro. Absolute joke. A disgraceful performance. Ireland absolutely opened us up, bro. Opened us up. Portugal got ripped apart. Let's just call it what it is. It's raining, bro. And today's weather reflects my mood when it comes to Portugal. Absolute disgrace. Absolute disgraceful performance. Martinez should be sacked. If the Portuguese FA have any balls, yeah, sack that filho da puta imediatamente. Não quer saber de nada. Sack him, bro. Sack him. It is unacceptable to have one of the strongest teams in world football and perform like that. I'm done, bro. I'm done. Get rid of Martinez. I've been calling out Martinez for a long time, and people jump on my Portugal watch-alongs and tell me, "Oh no, oh but why are you complaining? Oh, but what would Portugal do without Ronaldo?" No. There's multiple issues with Portugal. Yeah. Issue number one, still heavily reliant on Ronaldo. That's an issue. Issue number two, Martinez tactics are all over the place. Get rid of him, bro, before he embarrasses us in the World Cup. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. His tactics are stale, bro. Why are you playing Bernardo on the wing? Ireland are defending with a low block. The middle of the park is congested, and you're playing two midfielders that are inverting, not using the width of the pitch, which is forcing our fullbacks, Delo and Cancelo, to play a high line. You're getting opened up in every transition, and you continue to play a high line, bro. Get rid of this guy, bro. You are getting opened up and you continue to play a high line. Every time they counter-attacked us, it was like 3 verse 1, 3 verse 2, 4 verse 2. It was embarrassing, bro. Absolutely embarrassing. And if Portugal want to salvage the World Cup, sack Martinez right now. Sack Martinez. Sack him. I don't want to hear nothing, bro. There was no change. You made the changes way too late. You bring on Trincao, all of a sudden he's taking on players. No surprise. He's actually a natural winger. You bring on Gonzalo Ramos and he actually testing the keeper. Oh, no surprise. He can actually run. He can actually press. He can actually run the channels. Something that Ronaldo can't. I'm done with it, bro. I'm done with it. That's what I'm saying, bro. People want to talk about, oh, you're complaining. Bro, I saw the game with my eyes, bro. My eyes don't deceive me. My eyes don't deceive me. I cannot go into a World Cup with a naive manager that doesn't understand that the team is sitting back, expecting us to have all the possession in the world. We can't break them down. We don't have any width on the wings. And then we play a high line, bombing the lot forward, and then getting hit on the counter attack, and the guy doesn't make no changes. This guy is mentally challenged, bro. Martinez is mentally challenged. I can't do it anymore. I can't watch it anymore. I can't watch it anymore. Sack him, bro. Sack him, save the World Cup. Because no one's going to sit here and tell me that Portugal ain't got one of the top 5 best teams in world football right now. We do. We do. But what's holding us back? You're telling me with Vitinha, John Neves, you're telling me with these kind of players we can't play like Spain? Yeah, we can. If we had a manager that had any tactics about him. Gonzalo Ramos ain't a bad player. Trincao and Conceição are good players. Nuno Mendes is a top baller. Don't tell me we ain't got players, bro. We got Paulinho. Don't tell me we ain't got players, bro. Don't tell me we ain't got players. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. We got Champions League winners. We got players that have won trophies, that have won league titles, and this is how we're playing. Unacceptable, bro. Unacceptable. Seems like the problem is Martinez. Whether he's with Belgium or he's with Portugal, seems like the problem is Martinez, bro. Doesn't matter what players you give him. He's not good enough as a coach. Get rid of him, bro. Get rid of him. I'm sick and tired of this love fest with Ronaldo. Ronaldo has to start every game, has to play every game. He ain't got the legs. I had no problem when this was happening in 2016 because it was prime Ronaldo. Do you think I was talking like this when it was prime Ronaldo? No, I wasn't. Ronaldo's the reason why we won the Euros. I never take the praise away from Ronaldo. He was the reason that we won the Euros, bro. Even though we got injured in the final and Eder scored that goal against France to get us to lift the Euros, Ronaldo got us to that position, bro. Ronaldo carried this team. But with time, things move on. Things move on. And at this current moment, he use him sparingly, use him as an impact sub. Don't start him. Change the system. Every time Vitinha is receiving the ball, no runners, stale, static, no pace, nothing. What excuse? You got Rafael Leao there that's got pace. You've got Trincao that's got pace. You've got flipping Gonzalo that's got pace. There's no excuse, bro. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. Man could have played a midfielder, Vitinha, Jean Neves, and add Paulinho to that. But no. You want to play you want to play Ruben Neves. What does Ruben Neves do? How's Ruben Neves getting into the team over Paulinho? This is ridiculous, bro. Absolutely ridiculous, bro. You know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to get into the comments in a bit, but I just need to vent for a while because I'm fuming, bro. I'm fuming with that performance yesterday. Ireland, and I hadn't said this enough, well done. You absolutely slapped us up. Fair play. I'm not going to complain about that. Ireland, big up to you. Big up to Ireland, big up to the Irish. You guys showed heart, desire, you had a system, you knew how to counter-attack, you knew how to break us down. Perfect. Ireland have just given everyone the blueprint how to beat Portugal in the World Cup. If this bum Martinez stays, literally sit back, let us have possession. We won't figure it out. We'll just play backwards, sideways, a load of shots over the bar. João Felix shot over the bar. He even had a tap in, didn't score. Bro, everyone was trash, bro. Everyone was trash. Inacio was rubbish, bro. All of them were rubbish, bro. All of them were rubbish. I'm done with these guys, bro. I'm done with these guys, bro. Even the dogs have had enough. Even they're barking. They've had enough. We're not going anywhere. We're not doing anything with this manager, bro. We're not doing anything. Man's waiting to the 70th minute to make subs that he should have made already within the 30th minute. I'm done with these reaction FC managers, bro. He can bounce. I've had enough. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses, bro. That performance yesterday pissed me off. That performance yesterday got on my absolute nerves, bro. To lose like that. They could have won. I'll be real. Ireland could have won that game 4-0, 5-0. The amount of opportunities they had. They had a lot more quality. They would have put us to the absolute sword. We are so lucky. You know what I mean? All due respect to Ireland. If they had more quality, bro, that game should have ended 5-0. Embarrassing, man. Absolutely embarrassing. Embarrassing. But people won't talk about Martinez. People won't talk about Ronaldo. These guys get protected, bro. João Felix yesterday, rubbish. Bernardo yesterday, showing his age, rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Ruben Neves, rubbish. Cancelo, rubbish. Delo, horrendous. Ruben Diaz and Inacio, trash. Diego Costa playing up from the back, getting pressed. Oh, bro. You know, oh my days, bro. Oh my days. This is supposed to be international break. Can I get a break, please? Can I get a break? Can't have a break, man. I can't have a break. I'm not allowed to have a break. Not with these guys, bro. I'm not allowed to have a break. I swear down. I had enough of it, man. I had enough of it. Crazy, bro. Absolutely crazy. Let me get into some of the comments. Man. The Al Nassr duo. Martinez lacks World Cup group stages exit. Bro, absolute ridiculous. Martinez just tells the man them to play. Never seen any tactics from the brother. That's what I'm saying. He's a bum, bro. He's a joker. He's rubbish. The tactics are stale, bro. The tactics are stale. And the substitutions are late. How are you getting opened up like against Ireland, bro? That was one of the most embarrassing nights for any Portugueser, bro. Most embarrassing nights, bro. Ronaldo goes in the middle for no reason just to touch the ball. Pisses me off, bro. I'm tired. I'm tired of saying it, bro. But you're not allowed to talk about Ronaldo. You know what I mean? Star boy. You can't talk about star boy. Big up, no, big up, bro. You know what I mean? He's a proper striker, bro. Because Ramos don't start for PSG in big games, man, disrespect him. But he plays with Vitinha and Neves in PSG Ligue 1 games. He's a proper finisher, better than Nunes. Bro, I've been saying it. But he's not fancy enough, innit? So they won't put respect on his name. They won't put respect on his name. Facts, same with the pressing. One long ball and they're attacking. It's rubbish, bro. You know what I mean? He changed the tactics about 5 times last night all over the shop, bro. It's trash, bro. I don't know what he was changing because we was getting opened up regardless. I don't know what changes he was doing, bro. Yeah, I'm saying Bernardo on the wing is like my dad in left back. There's nothing there, bro. I'm telling you. I had this convo with an older guy. Same thing. I love Ronaldo, but he needs to see bench, bro. This man don't want to let go. They need to cut the umbilical cord. No, if it ain't that bad, bro. Yeah, okay then. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man said his head like an ashtray. Yeah, Ronaldo's head is like an ashtray, bro. I'm done with it, bro. Do you know what I mean? Why would Portugal hire Martinez? Because he's a what do you call it? A hipster manager. That's what they like these days. Hipster. It's not about CV no more. It's about hipster. Hipster now. We're on a hipster vibe. Everybody want to do a little hipster thing. Tired of this, man. Portuguese fans saying, "Oh, Ronaldo isn't a problem. Trust the process. Martinez needs to go, bro." Absolutely mad, bro. These man, they don't watch the game, bro. They don't watch the game. How can Ronaldo be losing his head like that? Do you know why? Yeah, Ronaldo's losing his head like that. Yeah, he's losing his game like the head like that. Yeah, because it's all about him, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. As soon as he doesn't get the headlines, he was expecting this game. Yeah, this game was supposed to be normally. Portugal versus Ireland would be normally Ronaldo saves saves Portugal. Ronaldo's the guy. Ronaldo's the savior. Look what Ronaldo's done for the team. Tear. He didn't get the headlines, bro. So this is what you get. He didn't get the headlines, bro. He didn't get the headlines. So this is how he reacts, bro. When he doesn't get the headlines. Sick and tired of it, bro. Absolutely sick and tired of it. Once he doesn't get the headlines, head loss. Instead of being a captain and being a leader, nah, this is what he does. This is what he does. As soon as it's not the Ronaldo show, we're gonna kick off. We're gonna start kicking off and throwing our toys, and it's beyond pathetic, bro. It's beyond pathetic, bro. Man's in his late 30s and this is how he's behaving. It's actually childish, bro. But this game, I've been calling it. I've been saying about the tactics. I've been saying about Ronaldo isn't as effective as people keep saying he is. I told you he's not the same. I've been saying it. Now what man gonna tell me? I didn't hear none of the Ronaldo love fest in the chat. I didn't see it, bro. I didn't hear it. What's man telling me now? What's man telling me now? All the guys that was in my chat telling me about, oh yeah, what you saying now? Rare. What are you telling me now? What are you telling me now? Exactly. I talk about what I see. I praise what I see and I criticize what's wrong. That's what I do. regardless if it's my nation, other nation. Ireland absolutely bossed it, bro. Absolutely bossed it. I can't take anything away from Ireland. They absolutely deserved that win. They absolutely deserved that performance. Even before the game, you know what I'm saying? Big up Ladimus and that. Were telling me, yo, this is the worst Ireland team I've seen. Bro, if they keep playing like that, they're gonna do your nation. They're gonna do your nation proud, bro. Playing with heart, discipline. Do you know what I'm saying? Desire. Can't take away from them, bro. Can't take that away from them. You know what I mean? I know this has nothing to do with Portugal, but just wondering, are you aware that Cape Verde qualified? Yeah, I'm aware, bro. I know, bro. Portugal, Cape Verde won't perform like that. They won't perform like that. Why is people messaging me right now? I'm busy. I'm busy. This gloomy day is just a reflection of how I feel after watching that game, bro. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic, bro. Absolutely pathetic. I cannot wait until this guy gets sacked. I cannot wait. This guy needs to go ASAP, bro. He needs to go ASAP. If Gonzalo Ramos does not start, if I do not see Gonzalo Ramos starting games, Trincao and Conceição and Paulinha, bro, just sack this guy, bro. Some people say, oh, but Portugal can still qualify. What's the point qualifying if you don't look like you're even close? You don't even look nowhere near winning it. Participation FC. It was a journey to be proud of FC. Now, we don't do that in Portugal. We don't do that, bro. And best believe he's going to get criticized today by the Portuguese press. Best believe, bro. Best believe. The first time I've seen the Portuguese press here, not stick it on. Bro, these men are so scared of Ronaldo, bro. I'm so tired of these men kissing ass to Ronaldo, bro. Ronaldo's always the first to criticize performances, yeah? Then he can take getting criticized for his performance. Not only was his performance, the icing on the cake was that elbow to the back. That was, bro. And I bet you he won't. No one will say nothing. No one will say nothing about that. They'll let it slide. They'll make it seem like, oh well, nothing happened. Oh well, it's Ronaldo. Well, what can you do? Nah, bro. Get this guy gone, bro. Make him hold bench. Make him hold bench, bro. Make him hold bench. The biggest problem is Martinez. It's not even Ronaldo. The biggest problem here is Martinez. It's his tactics, his substitutions, the play style, everything. The biggest problem in Portugal right now is Martinez, bro. He's the biggest problem. He's the biggest problem. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it. No one trying to lose their job over him. That's why, bro. Bun all of that. Big up from Dublin North. Buzzing with last night's game. Electric atmosphere in Dublin. You know, big up the Irish, man. Much deserved, bro. Much deserved. You know what I'm saying? Much deserved, bro. The people's elbow. Man said the people's elbow, you know. I said the people's elbow. It's always the destination that comes first. The journey only matters if it's a personal goal. But it seems like that's all Ronaldo cares. Remember, Ronaldo said when he was in an interview with Piers, he doesn't care about the World Cup. He doesn't rate the World Cup the same way. But if this guy is crying tears and falling to the floor over winning the Nations League, how can you celebrate the Nations League like that? But the World Cup don't mean nothing to you. Bro, you know you're not going to win us the World Cup. You know your time's done. That's why you're trying to downplay the World Cup. How are you downplaying the World Cup in an interview? This guy's shameless, bro. This guy's so shameless, bro. And I'm so done with it. I'm done with the shamelessness, bro. Fix up, bro. Fix up. I don't care about the World Cup. But you're there crying tears and celebrating the Nations League like you just won the World Cup. Get out of here, man. That's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna cry tears and celebrate and fall to the ground when it's the Carabao Cup. I don't care about the Champions League. Get out of here, man. This guy's a barefaced liar, bro. Barefaced liar. Man lost 200 bags because Portugal lost. Note to self, don't bet. That's why I don't bet, bro. That's why I don't bet, bro. ESPN be making wild claims. What's ESPN saying? I don't even know what ESPN be saying, bro. I saw his suspension might continue to the World Cup. Not sure if it's a fact. It's shambolic, bro. When he doesn't score, it's easy to get to his head. It's mad, bro. It's mad. Man thinks he's bigger than the World Cup itself. The ego's just on Jupiter, bro. Captain America. Yeah. You don't rate the World Cup like that, bro. You don't rate the World Cup like that, according to Ronaldo. Big up North, my national team has a horrible manager. 2, we have Pot. If we get grouped in a very competitive group, we won't get past the group stage. Bro, it's long. It's long, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's bigger than the World Cup. He's never won it. Yeah, that's why he's downplaying it, because he knows he's not going to win it, bro. He knows he's not going to win it. So the only thing to do is downplay it instead of being humble. I'm done with this guy, bro. I'm done with this guy. Yeah, man said, yeah, exactly. Ronaldo said that he thinks the Saudi league is harder than La Liga. Oh my god. Oh my god. You gotta laugh, man. You gotta laugh. You know what I mean? You gotta laugh when it comes to this guy, bro. You gotta laugh, man. You gotta laugh. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm so done with this guy, bro. I'm so done with this guy. But no, it's mad, bro. It's actually mad. I mean, it's getting a bit foggy here. It's mad, bro. I'm just I just, bro, Ronaldo, what he can say whatever he wants, bro. He can downplay whatever he wants. At the end of the day, yeah. If you don't care about the World Cup, then why are you going to the World Cup? That's what I want to say. If Ronaldo doesn't care about the World Cup, yeah, then why do you want to play every game? Why do you want to start? Why do you want to be in the team then? If you don't care, then you can go, bro. You can go. Simple. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm much rather start Gonzalo Ramos. So if you don't care about the World Cup, why are you trying to go to the World Cup then? Take yourself out of the World Cup. Say you don't want to go. Say you don't want to go to the World Cup, bro. Simple as that, innit? Since you don't rate it, it's it's mad, bro. I don't care about the World Cup, but I want to play every game. I want to be involved. I want to be in the team. All right then, mate. All right then. Why don't you go spend time with your family then if you don't care about the World Cup? Because your performance yesterday showed that you don't care about the World Cup. So why don't you just take yourself out of the team? Why don't you just take yourself out of the team? I'll be more than happy for you to step aside. Don't go. Don't go to the World Cup since you don't care about it. Don't go to the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? Yo, Shane, if you're free, I can put out the link, bro. If you want to jump on. I know we spoke yesterday. My head is hot, bro. I need to speak about it now. Shane, let me know, innit? If you want to jump on, you can jump on, have your say about Ireland, bro. You can jump on if you want, bro. But yeah, I'm just done. Yeah, man, send the link. All right, cool. I'm gonna send you the link. All right, Shane, give me 2 minutes, bro. Give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna get the I'm gonna go back home and I'll send you the link, bro. This weather's rubbish anyway, so give me literally 2 minutes and I'm gonna send you the link, bro. Embarrassing. Embarrassing. I think I need to get a Maggie, bro. I think I'm gonna get a Maggie, bro. Yeah, it's almost I'm getting a Maggie, bro. Yeah, I mean, big up to my guy Shane Gooner, bro. Make sure you're subscribing to Shane, bro. I will be putting the link in as well to Shane's channel. Make sure you're supporting my G, bro. Let me just get a Maggie first, bro. I need to get a Maggie before we enter this conversation. We're gonna have to have some uncomfortable conversations. Uncomfortable conversations. Because my nation absolutely embarrassing me. You know what I mean? Look at this weather, man. This weather's as bad as Portugal's performance. This is mad. I'm literally around the corner from my mum's yard. Need to get a Maggie, bro. Need to get a Maggie, I swear down. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. Shane is jumping on literally in 5 minutes. Right, shop's almost there. Absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely pathetic. Shambolic performance, bro. I don't even know how anyone's gonna even after this game. I know certain people tell me, "Yo, North, I got Portugal's favorites and stuff like that." Let me just tell you right now, we ain't doing nothing, bro. You know what? I don't even think we'll be able to even get to the quarterfinals, bro. I don't even think we'll get the semis. Forget it, bro. I don't see us doing nothing in the World Cup, bro. I don't see us doing nothing in the World Cup. I'll be real. I'll be real. Like we need, bro. I can't even say let's get an easy team because with all due respect to Ireland, yeah, they ain't got ballers like that. You know what I'm saying? And they still all Portugal needs to do is go up against a team that's got any type of identity, any type of cohesion, and we're done at it. That's the reality. So I can't even say, oh, if we go up against this team or that, nah. We're getting slapped up. Any team that has a good system, that knows how to defend, that knows how to frustrate Portugal, just let us have possession. We ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing. We ain't cooking nothing. We ain't finishing. We ain't doing nothing. That's all. We just need a well-drilled team that can defend, that show heart, desire. That's it. We're done. We're done. We don't know how to figure it out. We're finished. We're finished. I'm just so tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it, bro. So tired of it. So tired of it. It doesn't matter what players we've got in the team. This manager doesn't know how to get the best out of the team. Absolutely embarrassing. I would have loved. I might check on YouTube to see the scenes in Dublin. They must have been going mad celebrations, bro, and well deserved. I can't say nothing. Ronaldo, don't care about the World Cup. Don't flip in golden. Don't go, please. Back out. Back out of the team. You don't have to go. We're not begging you to go. We're not begging you to go. This guy will rather play. Instead of play João Felix in the 10, he wants to play him in the left. Instead of playing Bernardo in the midfield, he wants to play him on the right. Why is the low starting? What has the low done? Ask any Man United fan if they rate the low, bro. This guy's terrible, bro. When he came on against Spurs, did he have a good game? What warrants the low getting into the team? I don't care if it's Ireland. Now we realize that be humble. Be humble, eh? Stay humble, eh? Because this arrogance that, oh, we're Portugal, we got this team, and we're just going to turn up, we got Ronaldo. Nah, bro. Ain't going to work. Ain't going to work, bro. This ain't 2016. It worked in 2016. It ain't working now. And even then, we weren't looking convincing. We weren't winning games in 90 minutes, but at least we could defend. At least there was structure under Fernand Sanch. At least there was structure. We were hard to break down, hard to beat. Were we hard to beat against Ireland with this Martinez team? Absolute joke, bro. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. If our centre backs keep performing like this, bring back Pep. Bring back Pep, bro. Bring him back. If Inacio and Diaz is going to defend like this, bring back Pep. Bring back Pep. Absolutely ridiculous, bro. That defending was Liverpool-esque, bro. Liverpool-esque defending, bro. High line, getting pressed, getting out pressed. You know what I'm saying? Getting played out the press, getting counter-attacked. And what do we keep doing? Keep attacking. Keep attacking. Keep committing players forward. Don't worry. Let me get this quick Maggie, bro. Let me get this quick Maggie. I'm gonna get to Mumsy's yard, which is round the corner. Then we're bringing on Shane, bro. We're bringing on Shane. Let's get Shane to cook this Portugal team, bro. Let's get Shane to cook this Portugal team. Absolute jokers, man. Embarrassing the whole nation, bro. Them man deserve. They didn't even deserve, yeah. They deserve. They deserve to walk home, bro. That's what they deserve to do. To walk home after that performance. Walk home. Walk home, bro. Look at this quick Maggie from Boss Man. This quick Maggie now. Come on, man. Let me get my Maggie, man. Maggie time. Dark day, bro. Dark day. No boss. Maggie, bro. What's that? Maggie. No, Magnum. Thank you. Right. Hey, bro. Maggie activated. Oh. Tired of this one. Yeah. Look at the seatbelt, man. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Let's get Shane on. Let's get Shane on. Dead weather, man. Swear down. I feel sorry for Jean Neves. I feel sorry for Vitia, bro. I feel sorry for them. They play with PSG. They play good football. Do you know what I mean? They come to the national team and this is what they're seeing, bro. Experienced players. This is how they're playing. This is how Bernardo and João Felix is playing. This is how Ronaldo is pathetic, man. Absolutely pathetic. They must be thinking like, what the hell is this, bro? From playing under Enrique to playing under flipping Martinez, bro. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment, man. Absolute embarrassment, bro. Embarrassing settings, bro. Embarrassing. Right. We're going to get the link out. Right. All right. 1 sec. Quick blem. We'll put the link up. Right. Right. Copy link. Right, Shane, here's the link. There's the link, Shane, if you want to jump on, bro. The link is in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. There we go. There's the link there. Right. I went to Shane jumps on. But yeah, I'm beyond fed up, bro. I'm beyond fed up with this national team, bro. I'm beyond. And do you know what? Do you know what irritates me about football? Yeah, is you call things out and people just, oh, you're hating on Ronaldo, you're hating on Martinez. You just love to moan. You just love to this, and it has to reach these stages for people to start seeing what you're seeing, bro. Instead of them taking an objective look and say, do you know what? Why is North complaining about Ronaldo? Like, why is it though? Like, let me actually watch Ronaldo and see what he's actually bringing to the team. What is he actually saying? Why is North saying use Ronaldo as an impact sub? Why is he saying that? Let me see why. Why is North saying Martinez's tactics ain't good enough? We just about won against Hungary 3-2. Abysmal performance. Why is he saying that? He's Portuguese, right? Surely he wants his nation to do well, bro. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. But they don't want to listen, bro. There we go. Yo.
Man.
You good?
My internet's not acting up. It was acting up this morning. Hopefully it's doing better. Yeah, how you getting on, man?
Stress, bro.
Yeah.
Stress, bro. That. Wait, congratulations. Congratulations. I saw you messaging me. Clouding me, man. I can't lie, yeah. No hate towards Ireland, yeah. Well deserved,
yeah.
Much deserved winners. You bossed that game. You should have won that game by more. What was your analysis of the game, bro?
Yeah, it was just typical Ireland, though, wasn't it? I mean, I was like, if you look at the table, we lost to Armenia 3-1, man. If we had beaten them like we should have, we'd be on the same points as you. If we had beaten them like we should have, we'd be on the same points as Portugal. Obviously, the goal difference, it wouldn't even be that much of a difference because we would have got the win. We lost that 3-1, but it's typical Ireland. You know, that's what Ireland can do when they use their strengths. As in, we only have 2 or 3 good players and just play to their strengths instead of trying to play the ball out from the back or play something that we're not good at. They just play to their strengths. And there was people in my chat the morning of it, big up to the Irish contingent that were in, saying, I think we can do them. I said, if we go 1-0 down, we're finished. I said, if we keep them at 0-0 or take the lead, I think we can. Once that Aviva crowd gets going, I mean, that was the difference for me last night was the crowd. The crowd won that game for Ireland. The crowd was mental. And you can't not play well when a crowd's like that. That was just, it was different. It's what got into Ronaldo's head when he got petulant and got sent off. But it's just frustrating. It's frustrating because you see that we can do that. And then you look at some of our terrible results over the last few years. But, you know, giving ourselves a shot against Hungary, that's all we could have done. And if someone had given me a playoff before the group was even drawn, I would have taken it. So all we can do is get good results, get that world ranking up so we don't keep getting drawn in groups of death like that. But we got a shot now. If we go to Hungary and beat them, then we've done it. You know what I mean? Which is just unbelievable from where we were. I wanted the manager sacked and everything. I still do, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, Portugal were poor. Portugal, I think you said it there. I was listening where you said they sort of just showed up thinking that they could just show up and we just roll over for them, which ain't going to happen. You're playing Ireland at the end of the day. Even Ireland at their worst will give you a fight. But yeah, Troy Parrott was brilliant. I think overall we did exactly what we needed to do. We soaked up the pressure. We're never really. It's not like there was a stage where Portugal were hammering us. We soaked it up and then we got in their face. You know what I mean? We lobbed it forward when we could use the channels, all the stuff that the manager looked and said, right, we've got 2 or 3 good players. Let's use them to their strengths. And we'll do them in. And it was just a proper professional performance. It was an old school Ireland. That was like Ireland in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s. That was like Ireland, just getting in people's faces and making it hard for them. But yeah, Portugal, man, they were rattled. They were absolutely rattled. And Ronaldo let them down big time, man. Big time with his petulant behavior. What you know, just to be carrying on like that. I don't know. I think Portugal should get shot of him. What do you think? Do you think they'd be better off getting rid of him, or do you think he should still be in and around the squad?
I don't think his ego will allow him to accept holding the bench. I don't know if you remember, I think when we played Monaco, I think Fernand Sanch, one of his last games, I think it was in the World Cup, and he put Ronaldo on the bench. And Ronaldo was fuming. But he could see, yeah. Remember, Fernand Sanch, when we won the Euros, that was his main guy up into the final because he was in his prime. But he realized there was a new players that he needed to blood in. Gonzalo Ramos, you know what I mean? He scored a couple of goals when he done the little gun celebration and everything else like that. And he could see that we have so much talent that we don't need to rely on Ronaldo and certain attributes he once had: the pace, the power, the be able to beat players. He doesn't have that in his game anymore. He doesn't have that burst of pace, and he's not really a link-up player like that. He's not somebody that links up and brings other players into the game like Messi does. That's where Messi, with age, you've seen the qualities he had outside of his pace, where it's the intelligence and knowing how to break down teams and linking up play and bringing other players into the team, being more of the orchestrator. Ronaldo is not an orchestrator. Ronaldo is a final action player, which is fine. But at the same time, know your limitations and know that you can only be a fox in the box. And when you don't give him those tap-ins, he doesn't do anything. Losing the ball, getting barged off the ball, very robotic in how he's trying to beat players. Without that pace, he just doesn't have it to beat players. But if you give him a tap-in, he will still put himself in the right places in the box, but not spamming crosses into the box. Look how many times we spam crosses into the box, bro. And you guys just cleared it with ease.
Yeah. But that was the one thing that didn't make sense to me. If that was literally the best way we can defend. The three centre backs, they're all big lads who just love heading the ball away. If you had to play the pacey striker to get in behind, just could have done us. And that's my problem with him, is that the whole tactics has to be built around him. There's no way to adjust the tactics. If he's on the pitch, there's only one way to play. And like you said, if he's not getting the tap-ins, this isn't Roy the Rovers like this, and it's not a movie. He doesn't have to get the ending that he thinks he should get. I'd understand if it was George Best back in the day for Northern Ireland when they didn't have many good players, and if he wanted to keep playing, you keep playing him. But Portugal are a big side. They don't need to, it's not about, people will watch them regardless, and they can win regardless. Like, Portugal have always struggled for finishers since Eusebio. They've struggled for an out-and-out finisher. I mean, that's all so-called golden generation of the 2000s with Figo and all. They always struggled by not having a striker. They had everything else but someone who could finish the ball. And it's been throughout. They literally, like Eusebio, used up all the finishing genes. He's possibly, if not the greatest finisher of all time, he's definitely one of them. And I just think since then, they've always struggled for finishers. They've always had wingers. They've always had creative players, Rui Costas and Figos and all these guys. And now that Ronaldo is their finisher, I don't know. For me, I just think it's bad for the squad. I think he's too big. I think his personality is too big, and he doesn't have the talent to back it up anymore. He can bang goals all he wants over in Saudi and stuff like that. Like you said, Messi adjusted his game. He became more of a 10, even a deep lying 10 at times. So yeah, look, I just, for me, if I was a Portugal fan, I'd want them not going. And did I hear you say he said something along the lines of he doesn't care about the World Cup, or was that what you were saying? Did he say it?
Yeah. And Piers Morgan, it said something about how he doesn't really care or rate the World Cup.
Oh, it's not because he hasn't won it. Do you know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me. He's just trying to dismiss Messi's achievement. That's all that is. If he won that World Cup, you'd never hear the end of it. He celebrated the Euros like it was the only competition there's ever been. I don't buy into it, man. I don't buy into it. I think he's just trying to lower the standard of it because he hasn't won it.
Mm. Even the Nations League, you see the way he was celebrating the Nations League. The World Cup. And then all of a sudden you don't care about the World Cup. It's like, why is he going then? If you don't care about the World Cup, then go spend time with your family. You can have 2 weeks off, spend time with your family, international break. You don't have to represent Portugal. It's a choice.
Yeah.
That's why I don't, bro, he's just chatting rubbish, bro. Hold on a sec, let me switch this.
Well, what does the chat think? Do you think that he's dismissing the World Cup because he hasn't won it? That can be the only reason he's dismissing it. Because you know what it is with that as well, Nord, is that when people turned around and said, "Oh, now that Messi's won that, then there's no debate anymore." That's the only reason he's trying to dismiss it. And for me, there's never been a debate anyway between the two players. It's not even a debate who's better. You know what I mean? For me, Messi's the second best player of all time. Sometimes I think he's the best. It depends what mood I'm in between him and Maradona. But yeah, look, Ronaldo, he's one hateful character. Someone in the chat says, I think he's a bit of he's bitter. I think for a lot of things. I think he's done. I don't think any amount of praise will ever be enough for him. I think that's his problem. I think no amount of praise he'll still feel that he should be getting more. But to compare him to Messi, to me, I think if they had to come along at different times, there'd be no debate. The people would just say Messi. I think it's just because they were going head to head that people said there has to be this between them. The same happened with Eusebio and Pele. The same happened between them as well. But yeah, look, what do you reckon? Because you're definitely going to qualify. It's no doubt you're going to qualify. Is it just these sort of performances make you think, what's the point that you won't win it? Or maybe it could be a kick up the arse for you. Who knows?
No, I don't think it's the thing is, it's like Martinez reminds me of Arteta in many ways. He will stick to doing what he believes in by hook or by crook. And I don't see any adjustment. Like in that game, I didn't see any adjustment. The adjustments were made way too late. You know what I mean? And his first substitution was taken off a centre-back for another centre-back. Like, why? Like, we needed to get some width in that game because the middle of the park was way too congested. And then you're bringing on Semedo, which didn't do too bad. But at the same time, he's another one that defensively has a massive question mark. Then you're bringing on Trincao and Leao and Ramos. And it's like you're doing that all late in the game. I just feel like tactically, this guy's been found out. I think he got found out with Belgium and he's getting found out with Portugal. And just the way he's playing players out of positions, like, I don't like it. Like, where he played Felix, where he played Bernardo. Do you know what I mean? Playing the low, like, why? Like, you didn't need to play the low. Like, I just don't feel that. I feel like this guy tactically is hella sus, bro. And I've been calling it out even when we were winning games, even when we beat Hungary. And I was like, this don't look good. And when you watch Spain and you watch Portugal, and it's like, well, hold on. Like, for many years, they had the superior players, especially that generation, that golden generation of Barcelona, and they had all these top ballers that they had. Cool. We now have a squad that can compete with most national teams. And this is the football that we're playing. For me, it's on Martinez, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny that you compared him to Arteta, because I did that this morning on my show. He's living off one FA Cup as well. You know what I mean? So the similarities are there the whole way, but especially with the tactics. I think with managers like him and Arteta, I think they talk a good game, and the younger generation lap it up. I think they are like a TikTok manager. They know what to say and when to say it in press conferences, and they sound like they're really deep in tactical knowledge because they use fancy words and it's all duels this and all this sort of shit. And then you just go, well, watch the fucking match. He doesn't have a plan B. It happened with Arteta against Sunderland when we went 1-0 down. That's the only time he sits down, because he's clueless. He doesn't know what to do. So he just sits there leaning into the assistant coach, acting like he's coming up with plans. He's got nothing up his sleeve. And I'm the same with Martinez, man. That people forget that when he won that FA Cup, he got them relegated as well. You know what I mean? So it's not like he was brilliant that year, and he's been living off it. But I do feel with Portugal, since I've been a football fan, they've always been that one little ingredient away, whether it was a finisher or whether it was something else. And I look at their squad now and go, that's one hell of a squad, man. There's players in that have won Champions Leagues and things. I just think that it's just a Ronaldo show. And part of that's not his fault, that when he comes to town, it's the Ronaldo show. But if he's meant to be your leader, his behavior last night was disgraceful, throwing an elbow because his team's losing 2-0 at 40. That's what you need leading your team. You know what I mean? He should have been cooler than that. He should have been leading the team. Messi would have led the team by example. He would have gotten the ball. He would have made something happen. You know what I mean? But he ends up just throwing an elbow out, and then his reaction to it, everything about it just felt petulance to me. And I don't know, maybe this is Portugal's chance to cut him loose. Maybe that's the chance. I don't think they ever will. I think it's up to him when he retires, which I think is kind of sad. And I wonder if you ask Martinez deep down, does he want him in the team, what he'd say. You know what I mean? I wonder if he would be saying, no, I want him here, or if he could get rid of him, would he? You know what I mean? Because if you were manager, would you keep... If he was willing to go on the bench, I'd get it. If he was willing to be an impact player, to come off the bench, 20 minutes left and cause havoc up front, or just his presence alone coming off the bench could freak defenders out. But like you said, he's just not willing to do it. He's just not willing to do it. And he could take a lesson from the spirit of the Irish players last night. You know what I mean? There's not one player in that Ireland team that would get on the Portugal bench, let alone on the first team. And they played them off the park. You know what I mean? That's proper. Which again, you know what I mean? I wanted the manager sacked as well, and he got it tactically right last night. But all he did was just throw it back to Ireland of the 80s and 90s and just get in their face and do what we do best. Use our forward player. Like Parrott was phenomenal last night. I got to give that guy credit. That move to Holland has done him a world of good. It's let him get a bit techier, and I like that in a player that says, right, when I'm not getting my game at Tottenham, I'll take a move to a so-called step down, but it means I'll get football. People were saying then that he should be in instead of Evan Ferguson, but we don't have the players to be picking and choosing who we play. If they're our two best players, so you just have to play a 4-4-2. You have to do whatever it takes to get them both in. I don't care what way you do it, and I don't want one of them out the wing or one of them dropping off. This guy likes to play 3 at the back fine, play 3-5-2 then, and just play Evan Ferguson and Parrott up front, because if we can go to Hungary and get a result, I was saying it this morning, I think from where we were after losing to Armenia, I'd say it must have been about 300-400 to 1 that Ireland would have got into the World Cup at that point. So I think that if we turn it around now and get into a playoff and then there's a lot of ifs if you do it and do this, that it will be probably the greatest turnaround in Ireland's history, I'd imagine, because we've only qualified for 4 major tournaments. But I would have taken a playoff before it started. So for you with Portugal, when you saw the group, was it just about were you more looking at how they play, knowing that they're definitely going to get through, and that's more what you're looking at to see if there's improvements or if they've changed anything? Or was there ever a part of you thinking, oh, we might not get out of this group? Because you must have looked at it and just thought, we're definitely going to top it.
Yeah, I looked at the group. I'll be honest. I looked at the group and said, yo, I want to see how we play. I think we got enough individual quality to get us through. It's kind of like Arteta. He's got enough quality to be challenging, but can you get over the line? You know what I mean? And you look at him and say, okay, can you get over the line? And that's what I was looking at Martinez, because I was looking at games and I was like, this ain't looking convincing. You know what I mean? I'm looking at games and thinking, look at the way that we're playing. Like, look at the style of football that we're implementing. It's not good. Do you know what I mean? It's really not good. And I was like, okay, let me see if the manager's gonna get it right. But I knew he wasn't gonna get it right, bro. The reason he won't. This guy is like Arteta with Saka. Arteta would never, ever criticize Saka because he knows if he keeps Saka on side, he keeps the Arsenal fan base on side.
Yep.
And it's the same with Ronaldo. If he keeps Ronaldo on side, then he keeps the Portuguese public on side most of the time. Fernando Santos that won us the Euros, where people started going against him is when he benched Ronaldo and we lost that game. But the reality is, even if Ronaldo started that game, we would have lost that game. You know what I mean? They played out of their skin, Morocco, that game. So it wasn't really about, because you start Ronaldo. But as soon as Ronaldo was upset, Martinez knows that. And also, when you drop a star player and a big name, you then got to justify that with your right team selection. You got to show that with your tactics, your in-game tactics, your substitutions. You got to justify that. And because he's a coward of a manager, Martinez, he's not going to do that because he doesn't really, all his system is around Ronaldo. Like, how did we break down? How did we break you down? What was our game plan? Nothing. Side-to-side football, very similar to Arteta. Side-to-side football, spam crosses, spam crosses, spam crosses. We couldn't play through the middle of the park. You guys literally had us locked off. Even when you gave us possession, you just like break us down. There was no creativity. Find Ronaldo. Every chance. Try find Ronaldo. You had Ronaldo surrounded. He had no space. He couldn't even. I remember one time he tried to receive the ball. He had no space to even turn to lay off a shot. I think one time he did a little back heel. And it's just like, was that the tactics? Rely on Ronaldo. But this ain't, like I said, if this was 2016 Ronaldo, I completely understand why Fernando Santos did that. Because he was our most clinical striker and he was on form and he was banging in goals, scoring free kicks, everything. But now you've got so many other players to unlock a team and you just don't utilize them. It's just, he's going to continue doing the same thing. As long as Ronaldo's happy, he's going to continue, he ain't going to call Ronaldo out for that red card and just throw in the game. He ain't going to say nothing. He's just going to be like, well, maybe it was a head rush. We move forward. Ronaldo's done a lot for the team. I know he loves the team. That's all he's going to do. And bro, I didn't see anything. All I saw was a high line. The way we defended kind of reminded me of Liverpool this season, where they're playing a high line. They're getting counter-attacked and counter-attacked and just high line after high line and throw more players forward, and there's nothing there, no creativity, nothing. As soon as this Portugal team ain't got no space to operate in, we don't know how to break down a low block. We don't know. We run out of ideas, and yet we got players to do that. There's no movement. Every time Vitinha's on the ball, no movement. Everyone's static, and you guys are just man marking everybody. Everybody's back, and there's just no creativity, no movement, nothing. Yesterday's performance was embarrassing, man. Embarrassing.
And that must be infuriating for Vitinha as well, when he's so used to the movement he has at club level. You know what I mean? When he can just pick out a pass and then he's going to this static, tactic. And then it does go back to the tactics, because I look at the Portugal squad, I look at the bench that they had yesterday, and that squad pisses all over the one you had in 2016, but you just had a different manager and knew how to get the best out of it. It's not always about people go on about our squad depth, which I busted that myth wide open as well, by the way. The City squad pisses all over ours. If anyone thinks any different, they don't know football. But we know with this manager at Arsenal that we were telling people in the summer, oh, we've got all these players now and there'll be no more injuries. We were saying he'll play basically the same 11 every week. We know he will. It doesn't matter. The injuries will happen because he'll keep doing that. No. He's going to change. You know what I mean? It's like they live in a fantasy world. So it just proves the difference between a top manager and an average manager. We did a show on my channel last week with DJB and Kenny Ken and stuff like that. We were picking the greatest managers of all time. And it's just when you're going through the list of them, these people that changed the game, you know what I mean? The Johan Cruyff of this world and all, and you're just going, I mean, the difference it makes to have a good manager. We were going through Ferguson's list of honours and what he did with St. Mirren and then with Aberdeen and then obviously with United. And it's funny, isn't it? I felt that England fell into that trap as well recently with having Gareth Southgate. With all those players that they had in that period, if they just had a class manager, they probably would have won something. But they had a shit manager. They had a defensive manager who didn't know how to use good players, who didn't have the balls to drop certain players. And I just feel that, with Portugal now going into their game against Armenia, obviously Ronaldo will be suspended. Whoever comes in will know that no matter what I do, it won't make a difference. He'll just be back in the team as soon as he comes back. Yeah. So I just think all the ingredients are there for Portugal to either do away with him or put him on the bench for the World Cup, because take his comments at what he said about the World Cup not being that important and then add it to how petulant he was, and you'd have a reason. But what way do you reckon then that the Portugal public are, the Portuguese public are about dropping him? Would it be uproar, or would most want them out at this point, or what way would you think it would sway?
From what I see, they still have this love fest for Ronaldo, and I think it comes down to never having a player that, or being a long time since we had a player that's up there to be the greatest player of his generation, maybe ever. I know we had his debut, but you still had Pele and Maradona. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't like a clear. Whereas like Ronaldo and Messi, it is a close argument in terms of numbers. There's certain ways that you can analyze those two where you go, okay, he's very similar. Certain aspects, Ronaldo wins, but overall, you can see that Messi's the better player. So I feel like there's such a love fest for what Ronaldo's done. Obviously, as well, like Ronaldo, not only, being one of the greatest players ever, but also being the player that's brought home trophies to Portugal, which we never had before. I think that kind of sways a lot of people to be like, well, he was the guy that brought us 2 trophies. So they kind of just don't want to let him go. So I understand the sentiment if you're Portuguese. I get the sentiment if you're Portuguese. I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. But when I see other people that are not Portuguese and they can't analyze it without emotion, I'm like, come on, like, can you not see that this guy is not the player he was in 2016? And there's no shame in that. And that's what I said before. You don't look at Ronaldinho and say, oh, because Ronaldinho can't do it right now, means that you erase his past. Or because R9 can't do it right now, that you erase everything he's done in world football. Like, your legacy is your legacy. Yeah. But every player has his day. And I see the humbleness of Figo when he said, yo, Ronaldo is the next generation. I'm not going to intrude. I'm going to let the next generation prove themselves. I've had my time. Yeah. I've had my trophies, my success with Barca, with Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? We've pushed on. We've got close. We got to a Euros final. We didn't win it. You know what I mean? I think it was, what was it, in 2004 against Greece. We didn't win it. Cool. I had my time. It's Ronaldo's time. I don't see that humility when it comes from Ronaldo. A lot of the times as well, it's not just his performance yesterday. It's his antics. A lot of times when we're playing, when he doesn't get past the ball, arms up in the air, shouting, why didn't you push? Why didn't you pass it? And I'm just like, bro, you're supposed to encourage these players.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be greening them down,
They look
bro.
up to him. They look up to him, North, and he's talking like that to them. You know what I mean?
You see the national team, you see the respect that they got for him. They know what he's done for our nation. And what upsets me with Ronaldo, I would love to be speaking about Ronaldo in glowing terms and say, do you know what? People can say Messi's better, but guess what? Most nations out there have not had a player of Ronaldo's level in terms of pure goal scoring, machine, winning the Ballon d'Ors that he's won, with the Champions Leagues that he's done, the leagues that he's won, in multiple leagues. I'd love to sit here and be talking glowingly about Ronaldo, because he brought me one of the happiest times of my life when we won the Euros. I never thought I'd see Portugal win something, because as you rightly said, I didn't like Nuno Gomes. I didn't like the strikers that we had before Ronaldo. Do you know what I mean? But we always had quality in other sides and other places of the pitch. But like I said, his antics, the way everything's about him, the way he has to play, the way that he don't like any manager that doesn't want to play him, and he can't be humble enough to do a job for the team, for the betterment of the team. Yeah. That just pisses me off. Like, I love his passion in the Euros when he got injured and he was there with Fernando Sanchez and he pushing the players on him, you know. But it takes him to be injured to understand that you can influence the team. You can influence the team on the pitch and off the pitch. But when he's fully fit, he doesn't have that humility. The only time I've seen him have that humility is when he was injured and he physically could not carry on anymore. And it's like, bro, like at the end of the day, we might have not won that final if Ronaldo's on the pitch. We might have not. Because Eder wouldn't have had the opportunity to score that goal. You have to look at it that way. He would have held bench for the whole game if Ronaldo was fit enough. Yeah. And Ronaldo may have not got us the win, and we may have not won the Euros. So it's like, bro, just be a little bit more humble. You don't need, like, you've had your time. Like, let it go. You've had your time. You've won everything, barring the World Cup. Most players never see the trophies that you get. Not even half of them. Not even. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, like, you're always going to be the biggest legend from Portugal. You've eclipsed his debut. I remember when there's pictures with his debut when he was still alive, and how much you loved his debut, how much you love Figo and all that. Come on, they had their time as well. They stepped down. Stop with this arrogance that you must start every game. Mm-hmm. And then when you're not influencing the game, that's the example that you show the youngsters, elbowing Irish players in the back. Come on, man. And then doing a crybaby thing. This is the things, you know, what? Come on, bro. Come on, man. How many times
if he wouldn't have gone down, if someone did that to him, he'd be rolling around and getting he did it to Rooney. He did it to his own teammate for Portugal when he got him sent off. And then he winked at the camera. You know what I mean? So he can't get annoyed when another player makes a meal or something. And it wasn't even at that. Like, I've seen lighter elbows, people get sent off for that. But I did want to ask you said with the time when he got injured in the final and the antics on the side of the pitch and stuff like that, you said being humble. Was it him being humble, or was it him still wanting to be the centre of attention?
I have no doubt that Ronaldo, one thing I'll never take away from Ronaldo, he has a deep passion to be a winner, and he cares. He gives a shit, whether it's for club or country.
He's a winner. He's a true winner, yeah.
He's a winner. And that was the desire to win and to get over the line and to achieve, not only for himself, but also for the nation. I'll never deny that he loves Portugal, that he loves the national team, that he loves winning, that he wants to win. And he will do anything he can to win. Do I always agree with his ways of going about it? No. But at the same time, I felt that was pure emotion. I won't criticize him on that, because I do feel like that was pure emotion, that I want the nation to win, that we've got to the final, let's win it. And also maybe in his head as well, let's be fair to him. He remembers he was in the team when we lost to Greece.
Yeah.
With Figo and all them man there. So he was probably looking at, you know, with Simão, Sabroso and all that. And he's probably looking like, yo, please, like, I think that's why he got emotional, because he was like, once again, I've got to a final with Portugal, and it looks like we're gonna blow it. Like, it looks like it's done. So I feel like after that, it was just pure emotion to want to get the nation over the line to win it again, and for us not to lose, because he's been there and done that before. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. Yeah. You know, on a human level, I could see why he was distraught and how it's pure emotion, like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, that's the only time I've seen you be like that, where it's like, okay, and it's only because your body restrained you from being able to be on the pitch. Because otherwise you would have been like, nah, I'm not getting subbed off. Nah, I'm playing every game. Nah, I'm playing every minute. It's just frustrating. It's hard to praise Ronaldo now, because it's hard, because he just does all these antics that just takes away. And it's just like, bro, just be humble enough. Like, no one's like, I won't cuss. Like, I've never cussed Ronaldo for not being a shadow of the player that he was in his prime, because it's age. He can't help that. No player can help that.
And the effort he's put in to maintain the standard he has, Lord, can never be questioned. You know what I mean? He that guy's dedication to staying fit is like nothing that's ever been seen before. There's nobody that's ever been as close to him. Like, he won't touch a grain of fucking sugar. He won't put it in his body. He won't. The dedication he puts in, you don't get that by being someone that doesn't have the right attitude. Like, that's like you said. It's just a shame that he won't. He can't just sort of step aside, because if he, do you know what the funny thing is, though? If he went to that World Cup and came off the bench every game, he could end up having much more of an impact, both with helping the team and his own legacy, as in he'll be fresher and there's more chance of him getting a goal. If he's playing from the start, you know, you look at Roger Milla in World Cup 90, he was 38. And it was the president of Cameroon that was on the verge of losing a vote that said that everybody loved Milla. He forced the manager to bring him, which normally those sort of stories end badly. But Roger Milla scored, I think it was 3 to 4 goals in that World Cup coming off the bench because he wasn't fit enough. And he's still a national legend because of what he did coming off the bench. If Ronaldo could do that, he'd have more of an impact in the 20 minutes that he comes off the bench for. He could have more of an impact than if he plays the full 90. So he could get that goal, he could get that winner, and all the stuff that he loves, the storybook finish of scoring a winner in the last minute and stuff like that. He could do all that if he comes off the bench. If he could just leave his ego at home, it would help the team. He could come off the bench and then be a hero coming off the bench. But like you said, he just can't. He has to start all the time. And I just think that if someone could sit him down and get it into his head going, you will actually have more of a chance of writing your story if you come off the bench, because tired legs, you're coming on. They're at your level then of what you can do, because you'll feel like the younger Ronaldo, because they'll have 70 minutes in their legs. You'll be coming on. You can get that winner, and then you can go down as the legend and the World Cup winner that you want to be. It's just like you said. I think it's just his ego gets in the way, and I don't know. I think it's too late to really talk him down at this point. But yeah, I wanted to get your point. That would you prefer him to go and come off the bench, or to start, or just not go at all?
I've been saying this for months. Use him as an impact sub. Everything you said, I absolutely agree with. Exactly the same thing that I've been saying on the watch-alongs. What I've been saying when it comes to Ronaldo, and all I get is, oh, but what are you guys gonna do if without Ronaldo, Portugal can't do nothing? I'm like, but yet you put this team, this squad. It's funny, yeah, because they say that we can't do anything without Ronaldo, but then when they talk about the strongest national teams, they put our team up there. So is the whole team just built on is it just Ronaldo and everyone else is bums and farmers? You rate the team. So if you rate the team, Ronaldo isn't the guy that we need to consistently rely on when he's at this stage of his career. So I don't get it. On one note, they say that this squad is one of the best in the national teams, and then on the other one, it's like your team is nothing without Ronaldo. Which one is it? Because do these guys not rate Vitinha? Do they not rate Jean Neves? Do they not rate Nuno Mendes? Do you know what I'm saying? Do they not like Trincao and Conceição? Are they not good players? No. Do you know what I mean? Do they not think Bernardo's a good player? Like, I don't get where this whole thing, like, Paulinho's not a good player. Like, Diaz is not a good player. Like, since when is it just Ronaldo? Gonzalo Ramos, when he scored that goal for us and did the gun celebration, everyone's like, yo, he's a good player, bro. That's why he's at PSG. He's a good player. He's a good striker. It's because he doesn't start all the time. He's actually a good striker. When he came on, he had a couple of shots to work your goalkeeper. But Keller is a very good goalkeeper. But you could see, you know what I mean? He had more legs, more energetic, just way more direct than Ronaldo, just back to goal, holding the ball and waiting for movement, because he don't have no movement anymore. It's ridiculous. But moving on from Portugal, because I've had enough talking about these guys. I've had enough, bro. Listen, I'll end this segment. For me, anyway, congratulations, Ireland. Well deserved. Hopefully, you guys were celebrating back in Ireland and all the Irish around the world, in America and England, everywhere else. Much deserved. I ain't going to create no excuses, because there ain't no excuses. And you guys bossed us off the pitch, fair and square. There is no conspiracies. There is no VAR decisions or Portugal robbed. I should have named it Portugal robbed.
Dude, yeah, Terry Flowers.
But the thing is, the agenda against Ronaldo. That's what I should have done.
But the only thing is with the result, if we don't go on and beat Hungary, it means nothing, really. It's a nice day out. It will have limbs moments and all that sort of shit with the crowd. Brilliant. It did sort of reunite us a bit more. It's got a lot of positive ramifications, sure, but without beating Hungary, then all I focus on is you fucking went and lost Armenia. You know what I mean? That to me I think that outweighs the Portugal win if we don't make it. It's no, you're more accountable for the mess up of losing to Armenia. That's a disgrace. We're not the best team in the world. We're not even a very good team, but we can't be losing to Armenia. And now I look at that and I go, we'd be on equal points with you lot if we had done that. We'd be able to draw with Hungary and go through. You know what I mean? So this is the complete difference. Like going to Hungary, getting a draw, I'd be sitting here now probably going, especially if we had beaten Armenia, going, yeah, I think we're going to do it. I do have a sneaky feeling we're going to get something in Hungary. I really do, but I think that's just the dopamine of what just happened last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do think we'll get something, but then it's a playoff and then it's all of that sort of stuff. But something like that can reunite us. I wanted the manager gone before these two games because I thought a new manager would get a bounce. He ended up getting a bounce. But again, if the crowd hadn't shown up last night and if we hadn't started the way we did, I don't understand managers. Arteta's one of them that can't grasp that if you want to keep the crowd on side, hit them with a flurry at the start. Hit the other team with a couple of shots at the start and the crowd are up for it. As soon as you go like we do against Palace, half an hour without having a shot, of course the crowd are going to go quiet. Well, what do you expect is going to happen? So as soon as we got the crowd up, Portugal kind of went, oh shit, this isn't going to be what we thought it was going to be. And before they knew it, then they're 1-0 down. And then and it came right after the penalty decision as well. Is it a penalty? Is it not? That takes courage then and character to whip the corner in after you don't get the penalty and score from it. And then we went and got the second right before halftime, perfect timing. But we have to go be hungry now. And if we do, we could go from having a manager who I wanted sacked to being, this guy's going to go down as a legend, man. You know what I mean? Because of the way he's turned it around. So I do look at that game, and if we draw to Hungary or lose to Hungary or even beat them and then go out in the playoff, then you're still a fraud to me because you lost Armenia. And people will go, oh, it's harsh. You're a typical negative fan. But no, man. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. That's the way all fans should be. Like last season, I don't mean to keep bringing it back to Arsenal, but like last season with the whole Man City trophy and the Real Madrid trophy and all, it means fucking nothing, mate, at the end of the day. You enjoy the win. You sleep on it. Even enjoy it today if you want, lads. But you better be training now for Hungary, and you better be doing everything you can to beat them. Otherwise, it was just a nice little moment to celebrate. And people will say, "Well, you're Ireland, you can't be getting to." Yeah, fuck that, man. Ireland have had some great teams in the past. We've had some cracking teams in the past, man. We've had some of the best players Premier League or English football's ever seen. You know what I mean? Roy Keane, Robbie Keane, Liam Brady, Paul McGrath. No, we don't have those type of players now, but. I mean, Evan Ferguson's playing for Roma. He must be doing something right. So we have to look at this and go, right, we have to beat Hungary now. And then we have to win the playoff. And that is the only way that the Armenia result is forgiven, is if we qualify now. Because we look at the results and go, like I said, if we had beaten them, it's a completely different table. I mean, our goal difference would even be close to yours if we had beaten them. To the point where yous are going to go up, put 5 or 6 past Armenia, I'd imagine. I think they're going to get the brunt of what happened, and that's if Martinez has the balls to open up against them. I don't know if he will, but listen, you know, like I said, I'll be doing a watch along on Sunday for the Ireland Hungary match. It will be one of those things. They're the Arsenal of international football. They get your hopes up right when you're about to be done with them, and then they snatch it away again. You know what I mean? So I'll go into it with my eyes open. But big up to the Irish, man. I'd be the first to find fault in little aspects of it, but I think to a man, Ireland outplayed Portugal in that tactically, desire, even with the football, we used it better. We got it forward quickly. Everything that I asked for is like just play it direct. When you get the ball, get players forward. We didn't. It's not like when we counterattacked, we were leaving players back. Everybody was charging forward. It was a proper team performance. And I think that the whole Ronaldo elbow really summed up how much we got under your skin and got right in your face and stuff like that. And that's what it's all about. As a smaller team, that's the best you can hope for. It's just pure desire and use the ball well when you have it. And I just think it was a almost perfect performance from Ireland for the players we have.
100%. I couldn't disagree with you. I can't disagree with anything you said. I think to a man, I think you guys were excellent. Counter attack, defending, desire, winning your aerial duels. You guys absolutely bossed us, man. Absolutely bossed us. I can't even lie. And yeah, I think it's silly when people say, "Oh, but this nation." It's like, bro. Like at the end of the day, I feel like international football is different to club football. It's different. You know what I mean? Because it's your nation, and at the end of the day, it is different because you have to have people from your nation to qualify. So you've got the players that are from your nationality. You don't buy players and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, isn't that what people like about football? Like, they always telling us that they love the fairy tale of Brentford coming up, or Crystal Palace winning a trophy, or Newcastle, the team that, you know, was being held back by Mike Ashley, winning a trophy under Eddie Howe, and the romance of Leicester, you know what I mean? And seeing other nations. And we've seen, you know, World Cups and stuff like that of Ghana having a really good team, the Black Stars, you know what I mean? Doing their thing, Asamoah Gyan and all those players like that. That's what we love about football. A team that may not necessarily have the biggest stars, but they play well as a team and they get far. Do you remember the island, what's it called now? What's it called? What they called again? Iceland. You remember the Iceland team? Everyone was getting excited about.
The one that beat England, is it?
Yeah, the one that beat England. Do you know what I mean? And everyone's like, "Oh, look at the nation, you know, Iceland, you know, they're not, you know what I mean? They've never been a big nation or whatever. Look at what they're doing and stuff like that." It's like, bro, there's nothing wrong with people saying, you know, a smaller nation doing well or going far. You know what I mean? We love to see it. It creates big upsets, creates big talking points, teams to look out for. Every competition, there's always an underdog that you look at and you go, "Whoa, what's going on?" Didn't was it Saudi that beat Argentina? It was Saudi, innit?
Saudi beat Argentina first game of the last World Cup. They did, 2-1. Yeah,
there we go.
Shit because I put 100 quid on Argentina to win the World Cup, and I was like, "Oh man, what's happening here?" But Cameroon beat Argentina the first game of World Cup '90 as well. Argentina were the holders. Cameroon beat them 1-0 with 9 men. There's always moments like that, you know what I mean? Cameroon were the like you were saying, the story of the World Cup. They got to the quarterfinals. England put them out actually 3-2. They nearly did England. They were 2-1 up. But that was the time Pele said an African team will win the World Cup within, I think it was 30 years or something, he said. But there's always that's the World Cup's great for that, for the underdog stories. You know, South Korea got to it. What was the semis once as well? You know what I mean? So and Morocco even getting to the semis at the last one. So it does happen. But you do like an underdog story. Ireland's first ever World Cup 90, we got to the quarterfinals. But we didn't win a game in 90 minutes and we only scored 2 goals and got to the quarterfinals. Madness, like when you think back on it, because we drew 0-0 with Egypt in the group, drew 1-1 with England, drew 1-1 with Holland, then we drew 0-0 with Romania in the round of 30 or the round of 16, and beat them on penalties, and then we lost 1-0 to Italy. So we got to the quarterfinal with only scoring 2 goals and winning no game in 90 minutes. And to most Irish people of my age or older, it's their happiest memories of football was that World Cup. Ireland shut down. The whole nation shut down. I've never seen anything before or since like it. The whole nation shut down for that World Cup because it was our second major tournament. We had got into the Euros the 2 years before, but that was like nothing ever seen before. All the songs put them under pressure, was topping the charts, and so football has the ability to do that. So you do need the lesser teams in it. But I did have this on my show. I want to get your opinion on it. As much as I like all the underdogs in the World Cup and stuff like that, do you think now with the 48 teams that there's too many? 48 teams in the World Cup. Do you think the magic number is 32, or do you think that 48 is right to give everybody a shot? Because there's more nations now than ever anyway, you know, with countries splitting up and stuff like that. But do you think 48 is too many, or does it depend what structure they use for it?
I think it's really what structure they use, I'll be honest. How they structure it, I think really is going to affect, you know, what we're going to see. I mean, it gives more chances for more storylines like we're talking about. You know, in that aspect, it's good. And it's more games for us as content creators to watch. So it's a win-win on that aspect, you know what I mean? Yeah. And no, do you know what? Since it's the World Cup, I guess it should reflect more of the world and more nations qualifying and seeing if they can do the shot. So I guess in that aspect, not being selfish, you know, I think I'm quite happy. You know what I mean? Obviously, like a country like my dad's country, Cape Verde, to qualify for the first time ever to the World Cup, You know, it's going to be interesting to see how they do on that stage and how certain teams may underestimate them or how well they're coached and stuff like that. And long may it be other nations as well that are fearless, you know, and go out there with a game plan like the way Ireland played against Portugal. You played the game, you didn't play the occasion. You didn't think, oh, it's Portugal and oh, look at their ratings. You just went out there like, this is the game plan and this is how we're going to stifle them. So I don't know. I think it's a win-win, especially the fact that obviously club football won't be on. We have more games, more nations to prove themselves, and we could have a couple of storylines. There could be 2 or 3, you know what I mean? Because there's more teams, 2 or 3 underdogs that we're like, oh, look at them, look at them. Look at them over there as well. They're playing really well. They'll be interesting. So I think, yeah, man, I think it'll be interesting. I think we're going to have a lot more upsets, and I'm to be honest, I'm for it. I'll be honest with you, Shane. I'll be for it because I think it'd be unfair of me because one of my main nations are always in it most of the time, Portugal, to be like, oh, why is other nations not in? No, let the other nations, you know, have their chance and have their shot as well at trying to go for it and highlight as well. And also as well, we might discover certain ballers that we'd be like, oh, that player from the Philippines or from Thailand or whatever the case may be. Oh, we didn't, do you know what I mean? Just because we don't watch the football over there, we don't, you know, their football's not as televised as the other big nations. So I think it will, every European competition, you always spot some ballers. You're like, yo, look at that player there. Look at that. You know, it's the same with Morocco. You know, certain ballers, people are like, yo, look at him, look at him, look at him. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, right, we didn't really know much about him because we're so concentrated on the Prem. And we're so concentrated on Prem, La Liga, everything else don't even, do you know what I mean? So, no, man, I think a lot of careers. You remember James Rodriguez? You remember like his the way he performed for Colombia and the World Cup and stuff like that. I feel like it's a lot of opportunities for many players to market themselves on the world stage, and for a lot of us to be like, do you know what, that nation or that nation's got a couple of ballers, didn't really know him or didn't really see him or didn't really, do you know what I mean? So I'm cool.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, because I was dead set against it, and even up till last night I was talking about it. I was like, I do think that the classic is the 32, but I've been thinking about it last night, and I've been thinking about it today, and then when you were talking, what the stuff that you said there, and I still think that 32 is the classic. I think what they're aiming for is 64. I think they will have 2 leagues of 32 like the Champions League, and you play 8 games. I think that's what they will aim for in time. I think we'll have two sides of 32 leagues, and then get random 8 draws or seeded draws, which then would actually work out okay, really. It wouldn't be that many more games if only, say, the top 8 of each one got through. Then it would only be 3 or 4 more games than normal. So I think that's what they will aim for. I think is 64 teams split into 32s, and then you play 7 games or 8 games or whatever, it'll work out. But it's only when I'm thinking about it and I'm talking about those memories of Ireland and World Cup 90, and I'm thinking like a bigger World Cup, like you said, with Cape Verde and people like that getting into it. Like, who the fuck am I to take that away from them by saying it should only be 32? You know what I mean? So, I mean, there is more nations now. When you think of, like, you know, Yugoslavia breaking up into 5-6 countries in the 90s, there's more countries now, and there's more nations that have actual official teams. And there's rumors that the Faroe Islands might be close to doing something. I mean, that would just be unbelievable. But when you look at it, I kind of, the more I think about it, the more I say, well, who am I to say that it should be less teams? Because those Italian 90 memories are some of my favorite football memories of all time. And, you know, I mean, we were a small nation. That was our first World Cup. So, yeah, look, I get it. If they find a way to structure it that it's not 15 games the teams are playing or something like that, then it's fine. Yeah. If they find a way to structure it that, like I said, the 2 leagues are 32 and you only have to play 8 games, and then if the top 8 get through, then you're looking at, to win it, you'd need, 8, 9, 10, about 11 games. Still a lot, but, you know, if they find a way to structure it, then, yeah, I'm all for it. But yeah, but listen, I do have to leg it. The missus on the way home. I got to go start making her some lunch. She'll be fucking roaring when she gets in the door. Big up to you, man, for having me on. Absolute legend. But what, before I do go, though, do you think Portugal have a chance at the World Cup, or have you completely written?
No.
No, just gone. No. Fair enough. And who do you have for it? Who do you think will win it?
I think Spain.
Spain, that seems to be most people's call, yeah.
I think Spain.
I'm going Argentina again.
I think Spain are going to do it. I think Spain. I hope they don't, because I don't want to see Leo giddy. Internationals, I don't want to see him giddy, bro. I don't want to see him giddy. Man is saying France. I'm going with Spain. I may change my mind, but at this current moment, I'm going Spain. Argentina are there. France are there. They just need to get their act together and their performances up. They've always had the quality. The amount of quality that France produce is absolutely
ridiculous. You do look at players that aren't even in their second 11 and go, they would walk into a lot of teams. Crazy. Yeah, it's Argentina for me, Curtis. I won 800 quid or something on them last time. So I'll be going with them again, man. No, Messi's not retired. No, he'll be there at that World Cup. Don't you worry. But yeah, listen, man, thanks for having me on.
I'll let shout your channel out, bro. The link is in the title. Make sure you're subscribing, but shout your channel out, bro.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, Shane Gooner. I am live at 7 o'clock tonight for Off Topic. We will be discussing the greatest dynasties ever in club football. So the Ajax team of the 70s and the Man United team of the 90s and the likes of that Liverpool team of the 80s. So yeah, I'll have Taron, the legend that is Gianni, and who else? Jezza will be on. So yeah, that's at 7 o'clock tonight. And then obviously we'll be back for the full Irish tomorrow. But it's a big up for having me on. Big up to the legendary chat. And enjoy your Friday.
Big up, man. Big up to Shane. Make sure you're subscribing to Shane's channel. The link is in the title. And yeah, man, let's get on to some Arsenal talk. The link is there for anyone that does want to jump on with their mic and camera. Jesus was speaking to the press. He said, we are talking about a player who has been out for 9 months, is now fighting to return to the team. Some journalists speak without any basis. He went on to add, after such a complex surgery, it makes no sense for me to leave the club now. Listen, Jesus, respectfully, get the F out my club, bro. Get the F out my club. Do you know what I'm saying? Bro, like, you're injury prone. You've never been the guy anyway. You weren't the striker that I wanted anyway. Please, I beg you, leave, bro. I beg you, leave. I don't need Jesus at this club. I don't see what he brings to this team that we don't already have. Get the F out, bro. You know what I mean? I really don't want to hear none of this about, this many injuries and rare tear. Bro, shut up, bro. You know what I mean? I'm not in the mood, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we had these reports that you're going to Everton. You can leave for Everton, bro. You can leave for Everton. I'm not interested, bro. I'm not interested. We're talking about a player and all this stuff. But shut up, bro. Like, you've been trash, bro. You've been trash, injury prone. You're not gonna get into the team. You don't score enough goals. You've admitted yourself that you're not a gunman. I'm not really interested in hearing it. All this waffle about I'm not looking to leave. Of course you're not looking to leave because you don't want to drop your wages. How much money is it on again? Hold on a sec. Let me check again. Gabriel Jesus weekly wages. I forgot how much money. Man's on 265 grand a week. Of course you're not trying to let that salary go. Of course you're not trying to, because you're not going to get that anywhere else. About I'm not looking to leave. Because Everton ain't gonna put you on 265. Of course you're happy to stay, bro. Of course you're happy to stay. This guy talking about I'm not looking to leave. Of course you're not. You're getting free money, bro. Man, imagine being out of work here and receiving £265,000 each week. Man don't even need to call in sick. You just receive it every week. 265. Man ain't even working, bro. For all we know, he's there just mashing down bare gal, bro. Do you know what I mean? And you're saying, I don't want to leave. Of course you don't want to leave, bro. Of course you don't want to leave. Why would you want to leave? That's why we have to kick you out, bro. Manny, long time. How you doing, bro?
North, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Brilliant. I mean, I've had some issues with this microphone for a very long time. I mean, sometimes it's completely, it's temperamental. It just doesn't work at times when I want to speak to people. And now, of all times, in recent times, it chooses to work. So I'm quite happy. I actually was, listening to you speaking with Shane about, the struggles with the Portuguese Seleção. And I think, you and I can both agree that Bobby Martinez has to be the worst footballing example of failing upwards. And I think somebody said in the chat, he's still living, and both of you said it, he's still living off that FA Cup win with Wigan Athletic. I mean, he got relegated that season. I couldn't think of any team that would want to touch him with a barge pole. And then Belgium ended up signing him, and now he's with Portugal. And now there's talk about the possibility of him going to Celtic once the season ends, because I don't see Martin O'Neill continuing, to manage that club longer. And obviously Shane will know Martin O'Neill from his time managing the national team. But I saw that match yesterday as well, and I'm sorry if you don't want to talk about that, but
No, you can talk about it.
Now, listen, there's something about the team for some reason. It's like everything that you said about how Ronaldo holds the team back. Everything is just true. It's as if the team has to be a little bit, slower and a little bit more lethargic just to try to, accommodate him in. And one thing which I like about managers like Tuchel and others is that, they're also not afraid to lower the boom on some of these older players who just aren't, able to cut it anymore. Because, Tuchel got rid of Kyle Walker almost immediately, and I don't think Walker's going to get a chance to have his 100th cap. But as you said, Martinez just doesn't have the spine to be able to tell Ronaldo that your day is done. And when Fernando Santos actually dropped Ronaldo to the bench and had him come on as a substitute and he couldn't impact the game, that should have been a sign that, he's not the player he once was. And the sad part is, when you allow certain players to play for a little bit longer than they should be playing, the decline becomes all too evident, and the team gets affected. You even saw that with the great Spanish team under Aragones and Del Bosque. Several of their star players, were just in terminal decline, and Spain had to struggle before regenerating and having a new team, which now might be favourites to win the World Cup. I'm not too sure that they will because, they are dominating several teams, but they do have a few soft spots in them, in my opinion. But that's another thing altogether. And I'm really sorry for you, especially, having to sit through that and watch that because, I was telling a few people in Shane's chat that you were literally apoplectic with the turn of events. Let's just, look into the crystal ball and I might ask you this question. After the World Cup, Ronaldo definitely will retire. But are there any players that you do not want to see playing for the... apparently he's gone. He'll be back. Maybe he should be back, but once the World Cup is over, are there any other players who you don't want to see for Portugal again? Maybe you should start building a new team with some younger players from the Portuguese Liga, perhaps.
I don't want to see Delo. I don't want to see Bernardo Silva. If I do, I just want to see him as an impact sub. Bernardo Silva and Ronaldo impact subs, if they're there. I don't really want to see Semedo, if I be completely honest. There's a couple. Most of them I'm cool with. Most of the Portugal team, players I'm cool with. I got more of a gripe with the way that we're set out. Even how long he kept playing Rafael Leao. I kept telling people could say, "Oh, Rafael Leao, he's a top player, this and that." I said, "Yo, he's limited." No, he's a baller. I'll take him at Arsenal. Yeah, you can see now he's not all that. Even when he was subbed on yesterday, he's not all that, bro. Do you know what I mean? So there's not many that I don't really want to see. I expect Ruben Diaz to improve. Inacio is a decent centre back. I like Nuno Gomes. Semedo I don't rate. Dalot I don't rate. Who else? There's not that many that I don't rate. It's just the way the team is set out. Do you know what I mean? For me, if you're going to play João Felix, play him in the 10 or don't play him at all. Don't play him on the wing. So it's more the setup for me. It's not necessarily that there's loads of players that I would say I don't ever want to see again. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I get that completely. And I was actually telling myself that Ireland's best player last night was João Felix. His footwork was appalling, and the man couldn't even hit a barn door, to be brutally honest with you. And maybe there's some sort of a malaise right now that's actually afflicting the Seleção in some way. Some players will need to be, moved on so that the team can just regenerate itself. And sadly, you see a lot of these great teams have that cycle. And so when Portugal did win the Nations League, though, I think they beat Spain in the final on penalties. But I'm sure you would have celebrated that, but were you satisfied with the performance then, though?
No, I've been calling out the performances, bro. I've been calling out the performances. Even when we're getting results, I've been calling that out. You know already on the internet. When you get the win, people just look at the win and say, "Oh, why are you moaning? Why are you complaining? You're just bitching and moaning. Oh, look, Ronaldo saved you." I've been calling out. Everyone that's been watching my Portugal watch-alongs have been hearing me complain and be unhappy with the management by Martinez and the antics from Ronaldo. But now, as I said, this Ireland game has highlighted exactly what I said it was going to do.
This is why I don't put us as favourites. This is why I don't think we're going to win the World Cup. This is why I don't feel like we're going to win the next Euros, because of the way that we're playing. It's poor. And it's not just Ronaldo. It's the whole team. We're not performing well. We're really not. We're not defending well. We're not creating chances. Our movement off the ball is poor. The way we break down teams is poor. It's everything. And when everything's going bad, you have to look at the manager. Same thing happened with Liverpool. Whenever everyone's playing bad, you got to look at Slot. You know, it can't just be it's all the players. It's the system. I don't even know what the system is. Can anybody explain to me what the system was against Ireland? That was like rocket launcher football. I don't even know. What was that? I don't even know what that was. What style of play was that? It was a joke.
It was, and I think Shane got it spot on when he said that the way Ireland played, it was sort of reminiscent of the Jack Charlton style in the late 80s, early 90s, where you just hoof it forward ahead of the high line. And, they found their players quite effectively with the long ball very well, and made it, just made it difficult for your defenders. And at times, Diaz and the other centre-back, who else was there? I forget who started.
Inacio and Diaz.
Inacio, like both of them, actually, I have to say, were at 6s and 7s at times. Now, and the reason why I'm talking about the crystal ball is because obviously, thankfully, Martinez will be on his way. But now, as a Benfica supporter, I really want to ask you, how are you enjoying Jose Mourinho managing your club? And would you like to see him manage the Seleção, or do you think his time's done?
I'd like to see him manage the Seleção. I think with the talent that we've got, he'd get the most out of it. The thing is, it's not been spectacular. We've gone up a place. I think we're third. But at the same time, the other day, I think we ended up at Araujo. I think he scored an own goal, and we drew that game. The problem is, I want to give Jose Mourinho at least 2 transfer windows to address the defense. If he does not address that defense, which this is probably the worst Benfica defense I've ever seen in my life. If he does not address the defense, which most of his great teams are built with a solid defense, then I want him gone. I think the problem is we can't rely on that defense. And it's not down to Jose, because he got the job after we sacked Bruno Lage. So I can't put it all on Jose. There's definitely a personnel issue with Otamendi. Antonio Silva's not good enough. Aranju's not good enough, in my opinion. I'd like to give him 2 transfer windows to address that. And then I want to judge him, because there is a lack of personnel. I can't be blind and say, oh, well, he just, has to turn water into wine. No, we need to address that. And we've been buying more midfielders and wingers and attackers instead of addressing the defense that is really leaky and really, really poor. Out of the top 3, I think we've got the worst defense. Our defense is really bad. And you saw that last season when we played Barcelona and we were winning. And then at halftime, in the second half, we actually capitulated. I knew that we would capitulate because of that defense. So that's not down to Mourinho. You know what I mean? I can't put that on Mourinho. But yeah, the performances can be a bit better. But I do think he needs to restructure that defense.
Couldn't agree more. I mean, my only issue with Mourinho is that, apart from his time in Italy, where he seems to enjoy himself a great deal, whenever he's come back to managing the Premiership, I mean, obviously his Chelsea days were his best days, but they're long gone. He then, of course, as you know, went to Turkey to, I think, manage Fenerbahce, and that didn't end very well. And he's another person, mind you, who seems to be, like Ronaldo, a little bit of an egotist. And, it shouldn't really be any more acceptable simply because he's the manager, because sometimes he's also the type of person who wants the story to be about him in a way. And I'm just worried as well that, if he were to come back and manage the Seleção, it would be like a wonderful homecoming in many ways. I'm sure that the Portuguese fans would welcome him. I just don't want him to, let his own antics be the center of attention. And it's just as well that he and Ronaldo won't be together on the same team. And I think they were together when he managed Real Madrid, if memory serves me right.
Yeah. I think Mourinho's the one that can humble Ronaldo and chat to him to a point where Ronaldo can't lickle man him. You can't talk to him like, yo, who are you? Whereas with Martinez, you can see he's running the show.
Exactly, but let's not forget, Ronaldo will retire after the World Cup. I think that's what he's going to do. So he's not going to be involved in the next, Portuguese cycle. So when Mourinho takes over, he won't have Ronaldo to deal with, but there will be some other players. So I just hope that Mourinho won't try to make things about himself. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, I don't fully disagree with that, but at the same time, I think Mourinho will bring in a proper structure. He'll get us playing a good style of football or a decent style of football and play to our strengths. That's just the dream, innit? To see Mourinho manage my national team. I just think that would just be amazing. And if he fails with Benfica, which there's already some fans calling him out for his performances, I think that will be his next job. I think he will start looking and thinking, okay, where do I go from here? I've gone to Italy, I've gone to Turkish league, back to the Portuguese league. Where does he really go on from there? Do you know what I mean? Go manage the national team. I know he said that the national team doesn't interest him, but at the same time, if he fell with Benfica, I think this is his last job at, a big club in one of the top 6 leagues. After that, where do you go? Do you go to Ajax? You go somewhere there? Would they take him? I don't know. Ajax like to play an attacking style of football. That's not really Mourinho's forte. So I don't know where he goes after Portugal if he doesn't succeed. Does he go manage him in Brazil? Because we had a manager at Benfica, Jorge Jesus. He went to Flamengo. I think it was Flamengo that he went to. And he won the Copa Libertadores. And he won the league. And I think he won the Brazilian Cup as well. So maybe he looks and he goes over there. Maybe. I don't know. But I don't know. Would he prefer to go to the Brazilian league and play in the Copa Libertadores over managing the national team? If I was him, I'd go manage the national team. He would always get a job in Brazil, I think. So I don't know, man. I don't know where Mourinho goes if he's not successful at Benfica. I think his next job is a lot of Portuguese managers, once they're not good enough for the Portuguese league, a lot of them do go to Brazil. I don't know if Mourinho wants to go there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't be surprised if Ruben Amorim were to go there one day, notwithstanding the fact that United are, improving quite a bit. They're still never going to be at our level, I will say. So I think I'm going to stop my talk about Portugal by agreeing with Shane that for what it's worth, you should beat Armenia and secure your qualification. And Ireland obviously have it a lot to do. And you should be lucky, mind you, because if this were another campaign, the head-to-head record would give Ireland an advantage because they have a better head-to-head record between you lot than you do. But with you having scored more goals and conceded fewer goals, Ireland are just behind the 8 ball. So, I mean, all they can do now is just beat Hungary and hope for the best. But for what it's worth, you should secure your spot in the tournament. And now, of course, international break, just 1 or 2 questions about... I will ask this question now because... Saka actually started against Serbia last night and he scored. And you had quite a few people saying that, Tuchel knows how to get the best out of him. But once again, it's worrying, really, because once again, you see Saka starting relentlessly for Arsenal and Arteta not being able to manage him. And now Tuchel plays him. And, for some reason, somehow, by the grace of God, Saka seems to be all right. Sir, surely there must be a time when the poor boy will break down. I just wonder and worry for him, to be brutally honest with you.
I didn't watch the England game obviously same time as Portugal game.
Neither did I. He's not injured, but it's like the more minutes he gets for club and country, the bigger the fear that we have that something will happen to him. I just don't know if who would be to blame in that regard.
I think it comes down to the club. Because most of the time he plays for the club and we run him into the ground and then we don't protect him when he goes out for the national team and he plays every minute. And I'm kind of sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of running Saka into the ground and Arsenal not prioritizing the player for us. And even when we have the player, not playing him in every game and rushing him back from injury. I think it's taken a lot out of his game. I'll be honest. I think it's taken a lot out of Saka's game. I still feel like he's not the same player. I don't think he's playing with the same intensity. And I feel like he's playing more within himself, whether it's fatigue or, the fact that he doesn't trust his body at the moment or because of the injury. I don't know. But I think it's a combination of all of those things, possibly.
It could be the case. And, especially with regard to Arsenal, Our defense is all the rage at the moment. We've yet to concede in the Champions League, and there's talk about us possibly breaking the record set by Mourinho with Chelsea in conceding only 15 goals in a Premiership season. The only problem is, I think you and I and several other fans are seasoned and knowledgeable enough to know that during the winter months, for some reason, we start to have a little bit of a slump. And we've played Liverpool, lost to them. We drew against Manchester City with a last-minute equaliser. Is there enough in this team to suggest that we could actually continue to play well and continue to get some good results once we start to face some bigger tests during the winter months?
I just always feel like this manager's going to revert back to type. That's what I always feel like, especially when things get tricky. And we've got a run of games where we have to turn up every game. Tottenham, North London derby, we have to turn up. Then we've got Bayern, have to turn up. Chelsea, London derby, have to turn up. And then we've got other games down the line like Villa and games like that. I just feel like we'll see if Arteta's really changed when things go left. And I don't know, man. I look at this manager as a manager that he sticks by the players that he likes. He doesn't really want to change the way that he approaches games. And I feel like he's just safety first manager. Instead of going out for the win, he's more, let's keep it compact, let's keep it rigid. He doesn't really want to rotate the squad, let's be real. He could play Skelly in the midfield, he chooses not to. He could give Ethan more games, chooses not to. He could give Dalman more games, chooses not to. I don't know with this manager, man. I just can't trust him. I just think he's going to revert back to type, especially when the pressures start mounting, the Christmas period, and then we get to the business end of the season. You're going to see the frailties and the weaknesses of Arteta as a manager. Lack of in-game management, lack of plan B, doesn't rotate his team, likes to only throw the kitchen sink at it when it's the 80th minute. And we've already conceded. I just feel like he's a very limited coach, man. I feel like he's a very, very limited coach. He's good enough to get you challenging, but he's not good enough to, when it's a must win and you must step to the occasion. I think he's very reserved as a manager. And his lack of creativity with the squad. There's experiments there that he could try, and he chooses not to. Even in games where he could do it, he chooses not to. He still goes with the safety 2 DMs and playing certain players have to play certain games. I don't see him. There's games and opportunities where you could try and play. You can try and play certain players in certain positions that have the attributes to play there. He won't do it. Even the Calafiori thing. I think he's going to play Calafiori as a starting left back until it all goes wrong, and he will continue to play him there instead of giving Henkape a decent goal and a decent run of games. He wants to stick with the Henkape thing. Let's be real. He wanted to do that last season. But then Calafiori got injured. So now he's trying to run that this season. But we can see that this guy is not very good, bro, defensively. So
yeah, I get that. And, obviously, since Kieran Tierney's departure, we don't really have that kind of a classic proper left back who knows how to keep himself solid and overlap when necessary. And, obviously when Martinelli was playing on the left, he had his best football, his best times with Tierney as that left back. I will give Calafiori his flowers when I say that, he has shown that he can get forward very effectively and he can also keep his end up. And obviously the Calafiori-Hincapi situation means that Lewis Skelly will be struggling for game time, and that's obviously affected his chances with England in a big way. But I welcome that. I mean, I'm sick of... Lewis Skelly is not a left back. I'm sorry. He did well in his first 2 games, scored on his debut, but that Senegal game really exposed his limitations. And you see those limitations as well being exposed most of the time whenever, he plays for Arsenal. Against Atletico Madrid, I think Arteta was smart enough to know play him, because with that inversion, with that packing of the midfield, I think it overwhelmed Atletico. And it worked in our favour, and that was fine. But when you come to the Premiership, where the structures are completely different, the players are just built differently, it just doesn't work most of the time. And even last season, when he had his opportunities, on several occasions, he was found wanting. So again, the squad really does need to evolve, and as you say, it does boil down to the fact that with Arteta, he just doesn't have the. There are some people who there are still some fans online, even a few close friends of mine offline, who say that he is quite smart in certain ways. We all know he knows how to set up a team very well, but when things get tough, when the going gets tough, he chickens out, as you say, and that's really what's frustrating. And so I think hopefully once we get a new manager, if we get a new manager, he'll know how to work with the squad a lot more effectively and, just avoid using all of these harebrained tactics. Just go back to basics, find out what works, and, just stick with that and sit back and watch. What say you?
Yeah, I don't know, man. We haven't seen enough this season, let's be honest. We haven't seen enough creativity this season. He tried the whole 3DMs approach and that didn't work. And now he's got his winning formula for now. Well, I can't even say winning formula because we dropped points against Sunderland. But now that he's got his, Zubamendi, Rice and Eze midfield, he's just going to stick to that. You know what I mean? He's going to play Saka into the ground. He's going to, you know what I mean? It just... I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you know what it was? When you buy in a striker like Gyökeres and to not adjust the system to cater to Gyökeres just shows that everyone has to adjust to Arteta. He's not going to adjust to any players. The same way that City adjusted to Haaland. You see that they adjusted the way that they played to Haaland because they know that the goals outweigh, sticking to their system. They couldn't play the Aguero. They couldn't play the little false nine. They couldn't play all of that. You have to get your players watching Haaland's runs and playing those through balls when he's through in on goal. But I don't see Arteta doing that. I don't see him adjusting. I think he's just gonna continue to play his style, and you either adjust or you're out of the team. That's what I see from Arteta.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. My way or the highway. It's like, he's Jose Mourinho, but he doesn't even have a fraction of the silverware that Jose does. And it's all the more frustrating in many ways. Anyway, listen, brother, I'm so glad I got to come on and speak to you. It's been a long time. I've got to go somewhere. But look, I hope you enjoy the rest of the international break. Portugal should qualify. I'll be cheering, obviously, for the British Isles team. So hopefully, if we see Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland join England, that would be really terrific. And like I said, next time you have a stream like this, I'll hopefully try and hop on if I get some time. Until then, we'll catch up. We'll catch up again soon. As always, como siempre. Yeah, como siempre. Muito amor. Deus abençoe. Take care.
Obrigado, amigo. Até logo. See you soon, man. Love, bro. Love. But yeah, man, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Big up to everyone that's locked in, man. It is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is. Listen, just sack Martinez, get rid of Ronaldo. If he's not gonna be, if he's not humble enough to play a bit part in this team, just get rid of him. And yeah, man, we'll see how things go. We'll see what happens. Portugal are gonna qualify, but I'm not putting them as favourites to win the World Cup. Not as long as Martinez is still here. So it is what it is, man. But listen, big up to everyone that's locked in. Big up to everyone that's liking and subscribing. We're on route to 20K. Big up to everyone locked in. And we're going to redirect to troops. Northside raid on the way in. And we're out, man. Northside raid on the way in. Love.